First off, before we get going into the video, obviously we know about the terrible news that we heard yesterday about Kobe Bryant, his family, the people aboard the helicopter. Super sad stuff, absolutely tragic accident. Rest in peace to all those involved. Thoughts and prayers going out to their families. So today in Major League Baseball, we got some huge news. We got two big moves from two teams in the National League. We got some rumors going around. There's a lot of things happening as we get closer and closer to spring training. I'm here to talk about all of it. Nick Castellanos is headed to the Cincinnati Reds on a 4-year contract. Starling Marte has been traded to the Arizona Diamondbacks. Mookie Betts trade rumors are swirling. Nolan Arenado rumors still hanging around. The DH is being talked about. There's a lot of things going on in Major League Baseball, and I'm going to cover that all in today's video. As always, if you guys do enjoy it, make sure to leave a like on it. That's the best way to show your support. Subscribe to the channel if you're new and you enjoy the content. If you love baseball, click that sub button, join the team. Remember to get in the comment section down below. Give me your thoughts and opinions on the Castellanos signing, on the Starling Marte trade. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. Remember, you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at GiraffeNeckMarc. Links in the description. Always talking baseball over there. And if you want to buy any tickets to any sporting events, make sure to head on over to SeatGeek. Use the code Giraffe. Save yourself $20 off your first purchase. So let's get started by talking about the Nick Castellanos signing that happened early this morning. I was actually sleeping, which was good because, you know, now when I woke up, I had something to do. But Nick Castellanos has signed a 4-year, $64 million contract with the Cincinnati Reds, which includes an opt-out after the first season, which is really beneficial to Nick Castellanos. If he has an amazing 2020 season, which I fully expect him to have in Cincinnati, that's a hitter's ballpark, and all this guy does is hit. Crazy good hitter, JD Martinez light version. He can hit free agency, and then he'll get paid even bigger than he already did. And then, like, worst case scenario is that he opts out, qualifying offer, can take that $18 million, play in 2021, and then get paid afterwards. Best case scenario, I guess, is for the Reds here. He plays well, he doesn't opt out, you have him for 4 years. There's a lot of different ways that this contract can go, but pretty much any way you slice it, this is a good deal for both Nick Castellanos and the Cincinnati Reds. It allows Castellanos to have that freedom, to have that possibility to go get paid more, and it also gives the Reds a pretty friendly, a pretty cheap contract for a guy who hits at an absolutely elite level. Now, when you take a look at his 2019 numbers, you're going to be a little bit disappointed by the OPS, but keep in mind he played over half a season in Detroit, which is by far, that's where hitters go to die. A lot of his doubles over there would have been home runs in pretty much any other park. The dude absolutely mashes. You'll see how he hit with the Cubs. I mean, it's just, watch this guy play. He is JD Martinez light. I can't stress that enough. All he does is hit. In the field, it's a little different story. In 2019, Nick Castellanos played in 151 games, hit 27 homers, 58 doubles, and 3 triples to give him 73 RBIs, a 289 average with a 337 on base, 525 slugging, gave him an OPS of 863. Still a gross season. This coming off of 2018, where he had 23 homers, 46 doubles, OPS of 854, put together 4 straight seasons of an OPS above 800. When he got to Chicago in 51 games, 212 at-bats, he hit 16 homers, 21 doubles, to a 321 batting average, 356 on base, 646 slugging, and an OPS at 1,002. I mean, those offensive numbers cannot be denied. He absolutely mashes. And you now throw him into that Cincinnati Reds lineup, which is already just loaded. The bullpen may not be the strongest. They have some good arms out there, don't get me wrong. Lorenzen, Amir Garrett, Raisel Iglesias. Pretty good starting rotation as well. That 1-2-3 is very solid, and Trevor Bauer, Luis Castillo, Sonny Gray. You now add Nick Castellanos to a lineup that includes guys like Eugenio Suarez, Mike Moustakas, Aristides Aquino. They still got Joey Votto. I know he doesn't hit like he used to, but I mean, as like a 4th or 5th best bat, that's a decent option. Freddie Galvis had a decent little year last year. You got Shogo Akiyama, who looks like he can be a really solid player at the major league level. This also opens up opportunities to trade a guy like Nick Senzel to go get a package, maybe for a shortstop. Maybe you package Senzel and a couple other players to go get Francisco Lindor from the Indians. I mean, the Reds have the possibility to make some even bigger moves now by signing Nick Castellanos. It opens up so much for this team. The lineup stacked, the pitching's really solid. This is a team you have to watch out for the National League Central in 2020. I had them, I think, as like the 2nd place finish right now team at my way too early season predictions, and you'll see my updated predictions as the season gets closer, but they are a very scary team, and I can only imagine they're going to get better through trades as the deadline approaches. I don't think they're done making moves. Seems like Nick Senzel's probably on his way out here. He's a very good young player. Why not trade him and get some talent that can help you back immediately right now? This Reds team is going to be a lot of fun to watch, a lot of homers. They're quite improved this year. And then to talk about another team that's going to be getting even better than they were last year, the Arizona Diamondbacks making a trade for Starling Marte. Marte, as you guys know, was rumored to be traded all off season. It was between like the Mets, the Padres. There was a lot of teams that were interested, but ultimately the Diamondbacks ended up landing Starling Marte, and they really didn't give up too much. The 2 prospects they ended up trading away are guys that have really, really high ceilings, but there is a little bit of a risk risk in them. They are not super highly touted. They don't have a lot of hype around them, which is fine. You don't need to be a hyped up prospect to end up being a good player. Part of the reason that they don't have a lot of hype right now is because they are so far away from becoming Major League Baseball players. These guys were in rookie ball or short season A ball last year. There's a lot for them to build on. The Pirates ended up getting Brendan Malone, who was the number 9 ranked prospect in the Diamondbacks organization last year by MLB Pipeline. He was the 33rd overall pick in the 2019 draft, so clearly this guy definitely has something around him. He's only 19 years old, but he's probably right around 3 years away from being a Major League ready player. So for the Diamondbacks, it really doesn't make sense to hold on to this guy right now when you can go out and get a guy like Starling Marte, who automatically makes their team better. And same thing with Liover Peguero, young shortstop, really high ceiling on this guy, but also he is a huge bust candidate. There's a good chance that this guy turns out to be absolutely nothing, way more than Brendan Malone. Again, another guy who's about 3 years away from becoming a Major League ready type player. High ceilings, but there's also high risk with these guys. And for the Diamondbacks, who have a pretty deep farm system, you can afford to give these two guys up to get a guy like Starling Marte, because he's going to step into that lineup and automatically make that team better. Now, I know there's a lot of people around the league who have been saying Starling Marte is a bit overrated. He's really not that good of a player, but it depends what numbers you really look at. Defensively in center field, people are saying he's really not as good as he used to be. But the new outs above average metric would say that he's above average in center field. So it depends what you look at. He doesn't walk a lot. That's one thing with this guy, but he hits close to 300. So I don't think you really mind that too much. And yes, I know batting average doesn't matter, but hitting 300 still does count, especially when you hit for power, you hit for doubles, you steal bases like he does. That's how he gets on base. He gets on base by hitting, not walking, and he does have some pop in his bat. He can steal bases. In 2019, Starling Marte played in 132 games, hit 23 homers, 31 doubles, and 6 triples to give him 82 RBIs with 25 stolen bases, a 295 average with a 342 on base, 503 slugging, gave him an OPS at 845. He is going into his 31-year-old season, which can be a little bit concerning, but the Diamondbacks only have this guy for 2 years. You're pretty much getting him probably towards the tail end of his prime, if not like right in the middle. I see no problem with the trade that they did. His contract is pretty friendly as well. He's only getting paid about $12 million a year over the next 2 seasons, so yes, 24 in total. I expected the Pirates to be getting a lot more back, and the fact that the Diamondbacks got rid of 2 guys that aren't inside the top 100 when they were asking the Mets for apparently like Ronnie Mauricio, who is our #1 prospect in our system, or Brandon Nimmo. I'm shocked at how little they got back. I understand the high ceiling on these guys, that they can be really good players, but I expected them to get a little bit more than guys that they're hoping end up panning out well, and looking for more surefire things or prospects that were going to be more solid, safer picks. Overall, I'm surprised. I wish the Mets got him, because if this was the asking price, I would have loved to seen them give up 2 guys that really don't matter, but I'm guessing the Mets didn't want to pay the contract of Starling Marte, which is why they were probably asking for more prospects or Nimmo, and the Diamondbacks seem like they have no problem paying this money, considering they got a lot of guys off the books last year, like dumping Greinke. So really good job by the Arizona Diamondbacks. Again, another team that is going to be scary good in 2020. Think about this lineup. That outfield, by the way, really solid defensively. You got David Peralta in left field, one of the best defensive left fielders in the game. Starling Marte in center field, who has a really good jump on the ball, covers a lot of ground, does a really good job in center, and Cole Calhoun in right, who again is another really solid right fielder defensively. Great outfield there. In the infield, they actually have a pretty solid defensive infield as well. You have Nick Castellanos at shortstop, who's one of the best fielding shortstops in the game. Ketel Marte at second base is really solid. Christian Walker, in the 1 year that he's shown thus far, has been solid at first. Eduardo Escobar at third, and Carson Kelly behind the plate's a beast. This lineup, this team is going to be very dangerous. The Dodgers better watch themselves. Don't get too comfortable, because the Diamondbacks might be sneaking up trying to take that division from them. Let's go Diamondbacks. I like what I'm seeing. Just don't keep my Mets out of the playoffs. That's all I ask. And then I mentioned the Mookie Betts trade rumor at the start of the video. There's thoughts that maybe the Padres and the Red Sox are going to end up making a trade, sending Mookie from Boston to San Diego. Will Myers would probably be headed back to Boston in this deal to kind of help out some contract situations. Maybe Manuel Margot, maybe Cal Quantrill. There's a lot of names that are being thrown around right now. I still don't think it's going to happen. I think we're going to see Mookie play until pretty much the trade deadline with the Red Sox, and then they'll see where they are and go from there. But it's always interesting to hear about these top players in the league. I mean, Mookie Betts is a top 10 player, no doubt. We heard about Nolan Arenado. We heard about Francisco Lindor. Like, those are 3 of the top 10 players probably in Major League Baseball being talked about traded this offseason. Do any of them end up being traded? I don't think so. But the fact that those guys' names are floating around in rumors, if I'm a fan of those teams, I'm scared. And if I'm a fan of the teams that are interested in getting him, I'm so crazy excited. I'd do anything to get those guys. You are getting immediate impact players. So it's been a very busy day in Major League Baseball. I think the free agent market is pretty much done. I think Yasiel Puig is like the only name left, but who knows what his deal is. So I think you can start to see me kind of wrap up the offseason content as we get a little bit closer to spring training, which means I'm going to start talking about grades. I'm going to start talking about the best underrated signings of the offseason. A lot of good stuff coming at you. I know at the beginning I briefly mentioned talking about the DH, but I've decided I'm going to make that into a full video tomorrow. I'm going to be convincing you guys why the DH needs to come to the National League. There's lessons that need to be taught DH in National League Baseball. I'd love to know what you guys think about all the moves I discussed in today's video down in the comment section below. Give me your thoughts and opinions. Let's have a conversation. Let's talk. Remember to leave a like on the video if you did enjoy it. That's the best way to support the channel, as well as if you have not yet subscribed, click that sub button, join the team. Check me out on Twitter and Instagram, GiraffeNeckMarc, links in the description. Otherwise, we're going to wrap up today's video there. You guys know the drill from here on out. YouTube recommends you watch this video, as well as this is my most recent upload, so click through those if you have not yet seen them. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and I'll catch you all tomorrow for another video. Bye.